and welcome to a video in which I, Mr. Self Ethan, is going to basically do an overview of the classes that you may want to take for the school year 2021 to 2022. Now, for each of these classes, you'll see a brief overview about the class, a few questions that we might answer or examine or think about in that class, and really what you need to be successful either coming into that class or things that you think you're going to want to work on or explore or strengthen as a scientist. Each class has different strengths and weaknesses, challenges, difficulties, and different aspects of being a scientist. So the first course that you might choose to take is food science. Now, food science is a class to not only teach you how to cook, but also sort of the chemical, biological, and physical sciences behind the food that we eat, and how we can use those sciences to perfect maybe a sourdough bread, or the chemically perfect ice cream, or when you fry an egg, should you use a cast iron or a stainless steel skillet based on the metallic and heat conductive properties of those two metals. Now, in order to navigate this class successfully, you're going to be reading a lot of articles and complex scientific texts and vocabulary that you're going to be using to apply to independent investigations. I'm going to teach you how to make bread. I'm going to teach you the sciences behind the bread, but then when it comes to making your bread and understanding whether or not your bread was successful, you're going to be really empowered to design, experiment, and analyze the different types of breads or ice creams or eggs that you might fry. You're going to have to feel really good about communicating complex findings with math and graphs and statistics. So this class isn't just cooking. There's a lot of scientific design, scientific literacy, and mathematics and computations in order to know whether or not our food was successful. Another class you might take is conservation biology and ecological principles. Now, this class is going to be really designed to have a lot of ecological fieldwork, meaning we'll be outside a lot doing studies. We're going to be looking at the history and culture and legal implications of conservation biology and biodiversity. So a question we might think about is, should Vermont have mountain lions? Should we reintroduce mountain lions or some other predator to maybe regulate deer populations and tick populations and forest regeneration in our state? Are pandas actually worth saving? Should we be concerned about the endangered species that we have on t-shirts and websites? Are they worth more than a frog that's currently endangered in the Amazon? How can you be successful in this class, or what are the things that we're going to be focusing on? A lot of field work, a lot of scientific skills to study outdoor ecological labs, really strong opinionated writing and the ability to interweave opinions, facts, and policies and laws into your thoughts, and also the ability to take on a whole set of global and local perspectives. Really think about different cultures and beliefs objectively with as little bias as possible. What we think of as good ecological and conservation principles might not be the same in other countries or other parts of the world. Now, the third class you might take is Biochem Physiology for a Moving Body. It's going to be a rigorous independent class that interweaves physiology and anatomy and biochemistry to really think about how you can improve your health and fitness. And it doesn't necessarily just mean making your biceps a little bit more swole. So there's going to be a couple different units. One is going to be looking at the cardiovascular system, the nutrition and digestive system, and also then things related to emotional and physical and mental health. What do you need to be successful in this class? There's going to be a lot of labs that we do where you're going to have to be designing labs based on what you want to get out of this class. We're going to be reading a lot of primary articles about the most recent discoveries in the world of exercise and nutrition and health, and also an open mind to really thinking about complex perspectives and forming new habits. Now, the last two classes that you can take really come down to your paradox or your problem when it comes to an ice cream store. I always stress a lot when I go to an ice cream shop and I have all of these different flavors that I want to try. Do you want to be someone that samples all of these flavors, just maybe understand their differences, or are you someone that wants to try a few flavors as scoops and get a little bit more nuanced with the analysis and the understanding their differences? Do you want to eat all of these in small amounts, or do you want to pick a few and eat them and enjoy them in greater detail? Which brings us to advanced environmental science. This is a rigorous independent class really meant to help us understand how human and environmental systems interact. And this can be taken alternatively or concurrently to APES. APES is going to be a lot more content, while advanced environmental science is more depth and independent learning. So some questions we might ask in this class are, what is my ecological impact on the planet? Should there be a carbon tax? And how might I, myself, eat sustainably for my health and my planet? For this class, we're going to be doing a lot of labs, so strong investigation skills, the ability to think about global and local perspectives, and the ability to develop policy solutions and laws when considering complex problems. Now, alternatively, you might take AP Environmental Science, which is rigorous, it's test-driven, and it's a lot more content. Now, the questions that we might ask in this class or answer are a little bit less deep. They're a bit more fast-paced, and they might not be as applicable to your own life. So we might ask, what is the ecological impact of people on the planet? What is a carbon tax? How do we make food systems more sustainable? You're going to be taking lots of notes, doing a lot of independent learning. There'll still be some labs, but you're really going to be working on concise fact-based writings for the exam and practicing multiple choice questions. This is a class that I'd absolutely recommend that you talk with me in person if you think you want to take it because of the workload, the time demand, and the pace of the class. All of these classes are meant to be rigorous scientific classes, but AP Environmental Science is definitely going to be the one that requires the most work, the most thought, and it's going to be the one where if you suddenly miss a few classes or you're missing some work, I can't slow down. We have a schedule that we have to meet in order to get ready for the exam. So let me know and come see me if you have any questions or you have any concerns about any of these classes or you want to know more. And I'm looking forward to next year and some great new science classes at Stowe. See you later.